Hey, Switching Gears family, how you doing? Welcome back to another video, and today is going to be a review video. I'm going to review the Ultimate Seat. I'm going to do a little bit of compare and contrast between the stock seat, so stay tuned. All right, let's get right into the review. Want to make this kind of short and sweet. If you're here today, you're probably looking for a seat or interested in an Ultimate Seat because that's the seat I'm going to be reviewing today. I've been through a couple of different seats. I've had Mustang, I've had a Corbin, I've had LaPera, and now the Ultimate Seat. And all of those seats are fine, but in the journey of looking for the perfect seat, which we all know that there is no perfect seat. There's a seat that's going to get you about 95% to where you need to be, but it's hard to find a perfect seat because our body changes. You know, you may get on the bike today, you have a shoulder ache or a backache, which is going to affect the performance of the bike and the seat. But let's talk about the stock seat. So my bike is an 18 Road Glide CVO, and this is the stock CVO seat. Although it is a very nice looking seat, it fits the ergonomics of the bike well. For me, it lacked in the comfort department. About 100 miles on this seat, and I'm ready to get off the bike, or I'm ready to move around. I start feeling those hot spots in the lower parts of my butt. So I've been on the hunt for a seat. I cannot remember exactly where I found out about Ultimate Seat. I think it was through maybe a YouTube video I was searching, kind of like you're watching me now. And I decided to look them up and give them a call. But before we get into the Ultimate Seat, let's kind of talk about where the stock seat was lacking for it, at least with me. So the good thing that I do like about the stock seat, it sits you low and it sits you back. I'm 6'1", 198, 200 pounds, depending on what I ate. But it sits you low and it sits you back. I like that because it gives me more room away from the tank and it allows me to stretch my legs a little bit. What I don't like about it is this little part here that should be your backrest for the seat. For me, I found myself sitting on top of this because the seat was so short in the inside. So that was one of the negatives. As you can see, it kind of creased here from me sitting down. So very nice looking seat, very nice looking material, perforated with the stitching, but definitely not good for long distance. And the same thing with the passenger pavilion. I sometimes ride two up, and it just wasn't giving enough comfort. It wasn't as wide as this. So let's take some quick measurements real quick. At the seat, from the widest point, it's right at about 14 inches. And for the depth, it's right at about 20.5 inches. And let's do the pavilion the same way. And its widest point is going to measure right a little bit over 11 inches. And the depth of it is 11.5 inches. So again, if you have had a Harley or rode in a different bike, a lot of the stock seats, in my opinion, are not set up for long distance riding. They're more set up for a stylus of the bike and just around town cruising. Although I have seen some people get right on a stock bike and ride at 50, 60,000 miles with no problem. But you know, all of that is subject to the person and what they like. So let's remove the stock seat. Now, let's talk a little bit about what I purchased is the Ultimate Seat. This is for their 2014 and up Road Glides. I have a couple of notes here on my phone. The seat that I purchased is the two-piece seat with the backrest. Here's the passenger pavilion. And it's just like any other seat. The front seat goes on. You can ride it solo, or you can hook the back pavilion onto it to make it a two-person seat. And like I said, I opted for the backrest. We'll talk about the pavilion in a minute. Let's put this to the side. So what I have here is what's called the Tallboy, and I'm going to read directly off their website. It will be in the description box if you want to go there and take a look at it. So for the Tallboy, the seat will sit you 2.5 inches further back from the handlebars and the same ride height as the stock seat. If you're riding a Road King, Road Glide, or Street Glide, the Tallboy will sit you 1.5 inches further back from the handlebars and the same ride height as the stock seat. So that means this seat for me, because I ride a Road Glide, for the Ultra Classic and the Electric Glide is going to sit you to 2.5 inches back. But for the Road Glide, the Road King, and the Street Glide is going to sit you 1.5 inch back from the handlebars versus the stock seat. And I find this pretty accurate. I noticed once I put this seat on, it did slide me further back, And because it's not concave straight up, it gave me more room to allow myself to slide back. So I do find that accurate. Now, it says in here also, while maintaining the ride height of the stock seat. That may be for your specials and your basic models. But for the CVO models, because the seat is so low, it did change my ride height. It sat me higher on the bike, further back, but higher on the bike. So if you're getting this for a CVO model, just be aware that it will sit you a little bit higher on the bike. Not noticeably high. It will take some getting used to, because when I first put it on, I felt I was sitting on top of the bike instead of in the bike because of the low profile seat that I had on the beginning. It will sit you a little bit higher, but it does sit you further back. This is not leather. This is marine grade vinyl, which in my opinion is better because I don't have to moisturize this or wipe it or worry about sun fading or damage. It's waterproof. The only thing that they recommend on the Ultimate site is that you get the seat cover with it because of the stitching. It does have holes in the inside, and this has memory foam. So over time, it says that if it keeps getting soaked and soaked and wet and wet and wet, it could break down the interior of the foam. I did not purchase the rain cover because I already have a cover that I throw on the top of it. I read a lot of forums about it. Some people have an issue with it. I don't think that there's a big deal with it. I mean, if I'm riding a rainstorm, it is what it is. But it's definitely soft, and you can feel that it does have memory foam in it. Let me talk a little bit before I get into the seat and how I feel about it. Let's talk a little bit about the company, Ultimate Seats. They have two places. One is in Florida and one is in Canada. I found that their customer service is excellent. I don't know how many seat companies out there give you a 14-day trial, but Ultimate Seat does. And when you go on their website, you can see that from the day it arrives, you have 14 days to send it back, no questions asked, and they will return your money. I find that that's very good because they're telling me that they stand behind their products. That means I can buy this, go on a 10-day trip, maybe put 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 miles on the bike, and if I don't like it, I can turn around and give it back to them. Not a lot of companies will do that for you, and this is one of the things that helped me make a decision, because we're going to talk about the pricing in the end. It's not a cheap seat, but it definitely was, in my opinion, a good investment. But that kind of helped me make my choice in purchasing this seat because I get a 14-day trial period, which I found very, very useful in me making a decision whether I want to keep the seat or not. Okay, with that being said, let's talk about some of the things that I like about the seat and some of the things I don't like. I'm going to start with the things I don't like. I don't like that it initially changed my ride height. And I say that because I came off a Street Glide CVO to a Road Glide CVO, so I'm used to the CVO seat. On my Street Glide, I rode the CVO seat. I had a 16. The seat was much different. To me, it was a softer, more comfortable seat than came on the 18. But I was used to sitting inside the bike. It took some getting used to. Now that I'm used to it, I don't have a problem with it. But for the first 500 miles or so, it was definitely a con for me on my side. And the only other thing that I don't like about the seat is the fact that I do have to maybe worry about if it rains because of the issue with the water getting inside and breaking down the foam material. Do I think it's going to be a big issue? No. But if I'm on a long trip and maybe I don't have my seat cover or my bike cover and it's going to be outside, and it's one of those trips where if I'm gone for 10 days and out of 10, 5 maybe rain, it could cause an issue over time. I haven't really seen anyone talk about it on the forums. I know people that I have done research that said they've been riding these seats for years and in rain, without rain, with no cover, and they haven't had an issue. I think it's something that the company just kind of cautions you with because it could happen, but I don't really think it's a big deal, at least not for me. Those are only two things that I kind of have issue with. Let's talk about what I like about the seat. Definitely comfortable. But here's the thing that I will offer you. It's going to take some time for the seat to break in. And what I mean by time is it's going to take some patience because it is a different seat, much wider, much thicker. It will sit you back. It's going to change your ergonomics of the bike. And I say that because the first 200 miles or so, I want to send the seat back. I did not like the seat because it changed how high I was. Then I also had to go in and do some adjustment to my handlebars because I started feeling a bunch of shoulder pain because it moved me up and back. I stuck with it. I had the 14 days, so it made me feel a little bit better about it. I adjusted my handlebars to fit the ergonomics of the seat, and now I can't see myself riding without this seat. I love it. It took me from 4 or 5 hour days to 8, 9 hour days without me getting off the bike hurting. And if you watch my videos, I have a very bad shoulder, I have a very bad back and some other injuries. Getting older sucks. And also being in the military doesn't help, but this seat helps. It definitely helped with that. My last video you seen, which part 2 is coming, when I did the motorcycle ride to North Carolina, I was on the bike maybe 5 or 6 hours straight, and I got off and I was able to continue the rest of my day without any issues. Usually when I'm riding the stock seat, and like I said, every 100 miles or so, I'm pulling over the stretch, I'm taking Motrin, I'm hurting. This seat definitely extended my ride time, and I know and I can feel the more I ride it, the better it gets. It's breaking in even more. Another thing I like about it is it comes with a bigger passenger seat. So when I'm riding 2 up, my passenger is comfortable and they have that same memory foam and a little bit of a lip here just to keep them planted as the bike is moving back and forth. So that's also a good, that's also a positive towards it. Lastly, I love the backrest. Bad back, I can't say it enough, bad back. This thing is comfortable. It adjusts up and down, and you can also adjust it back and forth. It swivels, and you can also it has a screw here in the inside that you can turn to move the backrest forward and back. So it has 3-way adjustable, and it comes with a little carrying pouch on the back that you can stick, you know, different little items in it that you may want to carry. Let's look at the bottom of it. Like I said, it has rubber dampening. I don't know exactly what this material is in the bottom, but on the website it says some type of sound deadening material. Comes with a very sturdy mount here that mounts onto the front of your bike, and it just looks really nice. I mean, it looks like it's a very quality material, very sturdy, and looks well put together. Let's talk about some of the dimensions. So let's go the depth of it. So from front to back, we're looking at right at 21 inches. The width is a little over 16. The website says 16, but I'm actually getting 16 and a half. So it increased my surface area for sitting, which gives me more area to spread out and move about when I'm on those long distance rides. Remember what it says, it's gonna move you down and back. It comes with a little bit of a lumbar support here in the back, and then you also couple that with the backrest. It's almost like sitting inside of a couch. One good thing that I want to talk about is it narrows down here where your legs are at. So for anyone of you that's rode those kind of wide seats, it kind of makes you have your legs kind of spread out, and when you're stopping to put your feet down, it kind of has your feet spread. This here kind of tapers in to follow the contour of the bike to bring your legs closer and down more. So I found that to be very comfortable, not as much strain the inside of my thighs and inside of my legs. So that's another plus. So lastly, let's talk about pricing. So for me, I'm going right back to the website. So for my purchase on this seat, with everything that I got together, I'm gonna go here and just put all the things I put in here. So we're gonna go Tallboy, no rain cover, I gotta enter my rod height. So we go 6'1". My weight, we'll say 200. And the year bike, 2018. Okay. So it said added it to cart. So let's see where we're at. So I got $750 before we get to the taxes. I'll tell you right now, I'll pull up my receipt for it. I'm just going back to my email. So with taxes and everything, shipping, I paid $790. So the seat was $750. The ground shipping was $40 coming from Florida to here. Very well packaged. I mean, it came in pristine condition, and out the door, everything was $790. That's a big investment. But I would definitely say to improve my ride and to improve my time on the bike, and then the time that how good I feel after the bike, for me, it was a very good investment. I mean, anything that we deal with motorcycles is kind of expensive because it's made for a motorcycle. It's not made in bulk. A lot of people don't ride motorcycles, so I would think it costs a little bit more to produce, but we pay for quality. You know, I've had some cheap seats for $200 that I was wishing that I had an expensive seat. I feel that this is a very good investment. If nothing more than trying it out for the 14 days and seeing if you like it. And if you don't, then you can always send it back and get your money back. But if you do like me and keep it, I think you're going to really enjoy it. And who knows? If you don't plan on getting rid of your bike for a long time, you may make up for some of the difference by selling your stock seat online and get some of your money back. I'm going to keep mine just in case. I can switch back and forth if I need to, or if I ever have to get rid of Storm, I can keep this seat. If I get another Road Glide, hopefully it'll still fit. So that's about it. That's all I have for the Ultimate Seat. I'm going to have the link to their store in the description. Give them a shout. Give them a call. See what they can do for your seat. I know they do some custom things, custom colors, custom stitching. The only thing with the custom seats is, unless they changed, you're not allowed to do the 14-day trial because they made it custom for you. So once you buy it, it's yours. But if you go a stock seat right off the shelf, you can do the 14 days and send it back. I think it's a great deal. I think it's something that you should try. I give it the switching gear stamp of approval. I've put over 1,000 miles in this seat since I've had it, and I really enjoy it. And I'm looking for thousands or more miles to put on the seat to just see that it breaks in more and more. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. In today's review, I hope you're out there riding safe. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're looking out for yourselves and your friends. Me and my family are definitely praying for everyone all over the world that's affected by this COVID or just affected, period, in the world. I would like to thank each and every one of you for checking out my channel. Thank you for your support. Stay safe and ride often.